Hey guys, Scott here for the Mental Metal channel and mentalmetalDetecting.com. And today I bring you a major breakthrough in coin shooting. This is the Equinox 900. Just came out not too long ago. Came out around the same time the Manticore has come out. There was also a 700 version. This is the Equinox 900. And I've been trying to figure out how to convert my original Equinox 800 coin program that a lot of people use and like over to the 900. And I had a different version of it once where I just used notching or accept reject and notched out a bunch of numbers based on some target IDs and stuff. But that's a good technique for cherry picking sites. This program should be an almost absolute copy as my Equinox coin shooting program that I really like. It's been adapted for the new target ID range from 0 to 99. So I'm going to walk through it with you today to show you how to do it. And I'm going to stumble around a little bit because I just figured it out. So I'm sure I'm going to kind of stumble around my words a little bit. I probably should have done a little bit more prep for this, but I think we'll get through it okay. All right, Rocky may make his presence known by doing something loud, obnoxious, so just ignore him. But he is out here with me in the garage. Before we get into the setup, I'm just going to kind of walk through everything verbally. I'm going to put something out on my website, a walkthrough, on how to do this in written form. But just let me go through and just give you the heads up on what you need to know for tone breaks, pitch, and volume, all right? So your tone breaks are going to be, you only can do 4 tone breaks. The 5th one's not available. It's the same thing in Equinox 800. But your tone breaks are going to be from 0 to 24. The second one's going to be from 25 to 30, and that's going to cover your nickel range. Your third one's going to be 31 through 68. Now, I had to do it this way because some Indian head pennies are going to show up in the 55 to 57 range. So you got to just know this is a tone break that I'm kind of like, I'm going to lower the pitch, I'm going to lower the volume a little bit, but when you notice 55 through 57 on the target ID, you're going to want to pay attention to those because they're not going to ring out loud like the rest of the coins are going to, all right? And then the 4th tone break is going to be 69 through 99. Now, instead of me talking through the rest of this stuff, I'm going to dig in and show you the tone pitches, the volume, and then I'll walk you through the tone breaks because I just want you to know about the tone breaks first because that is the most important piece to this getting started. Because if you don't understand why I do the tone breaks, then you're not going to understand the rest of the stuff. So, all right, so let's get started. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible and not drag on, all right? So what I want to go over first is going to be you go across, we're going to start in Park 1, all right? What we can do, and your sensitivity can be whatever you want it to be. Right now I have it turned down because I'm in my garage, all right? So just keep that in mind. You can make that as high as you can tolerate it. If we come across to recovery speed, I'm also using 4, but you can also adapt that to whatever your site allows you to. If you have a really trashy site, obviously you're going to increase that. If you want more depth, obviously you can drop it down a couple notches to like 2. I found 4 is roughly 4 or 5 is the sweet spot on this machine based on my test so far. You also have the iron bias feature. You don't have the F2 anymore, you just have FE. I'm starting with 2. I think you can go up to 4. I don't know if I would go any higher than 4, but you certainly could go up to 9, but I think 4 is going to be plenty, and I may start at 2. So that's your option also, based on your site conditions. All right, so now getting out of that stuff, that's just the basic stuff out of the way. Now your tone volume, I have mine set to 25 for the speaker. This is the speaker, all right? We're going to go into this in a minute, go in deep, and set up all the tone volumes for each of the tone breaks. All right, so let's let's just actually do that. That's actually the first step anyway. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set up each tone break and we're gonna assign a volume to it. So you're gonna notice, if you go into my tone breaks, let's do this. This is what I mean. We're gonna stumble around a little bit. Let's go into the tone breaks. To get to the tone breaks, you go over to accept reject and you hold in your gear button, and that puts you into your tone breaks. All right. So walking through the tone breaks from negative all the way up to 24, I have it written down as 0 through 24, is your first tone break. All right. And you may have to, on your machine, you may be at like 10 or something. You may have to plus this up. You may not be able to get to 24 the first pass. I don't think you can. I think you're going to get stuck at 19. That's okay. If you get stuck at 19, go to the second tone break by hitting this checkbox. All right, you're going to get to the second tone break, and you're going to make that from 25. You're going to make it from 25 to 30. Now, what happens is, if you can't, your first tone break was stuck at 19, just go from 19 all the way up to 30. And then what happens is come back in, just check through this to get back to E1 again, or tone break 1, and then try to raise it up to 24. You should be able to do it then. You're limited because by the default the tone breaks are stuck at a certain number and it's not able to carry on high enough, so you have to actually raise the second one up a little higher, and then you can go back and adjust the first tone break. So that's what I've done. So your first tone break's 24. You should be able to do it now. If you were at 19 and you set the second tone break, you should be able to go back into the first tone break and now raise it up to 24. All right. So the second tone break is going to be 30, all the way up to 30. The third one's going to be from 31 to 68. And then your last one is going to be from 69 to 99. It shows 98 here because if you go one more over, it doesn't show you the tone break 5 for some reason. I don't know why that is. The same thing happened with the Equinox 800. So in reality, you are getting up to 99. It just shows 98 here. So don't freak out. That's okay. All right. So now you have the tone break set. You want to get out of here and go back to your tone volumes, or volume, your third one in there. I can't read it. But anyway, hold your gear button again. Now you're into your volume setup. So each tone break now is going to have its own volume. So the first tone break that we had from 0 to 24, I'm assigning it a value of 5. So it's going to be very, very quiet. But it's also going to sound like iron. And we're going to get into the tone pitch here in a minute. So your first one's 5. Your second tone volume for tone break 2 is going to be 25. That's going to be your nickels. You want that to be loud. Your third one is going to be set at 20. This is your range from 31 to 68. And like I said, this is going to be where you're going to have some pennies, your Indian pennies ring up towards the end of this target ID range in this tone break, and it's not going to jump out at you because the rest of the stuff in that range is not going to be very appealing if you're looking for coins. So keep that in mind. Look at your target ID once in a while. If you see something that's 55 to 57, you may want to dig it. It may be trash, but you may want to dig it. All right? I just want to make sure that's clear. So your tone break 4 volume is going to be 25. All right? So, and I think you can move over to the tone break 5. You can, which is 99, and it's 25. I don't know why it works out this way. It should be fine. I've tested it. It should be fine. I don't know why, based on these tone breaks, why it did what it did. And it stops at 98, and then 99's tone break 5. Don't understand it either. It's just weird. Something similar went on with the Equinox 800, but I'm just going with it. So now that we got the volume set up, let's go in and set the tone, or the pitch tone, for each of these tone breaks. And to do that, you get out of here and you go into target tones. So right now I'm set up in a 5-tone program. So you have to use 5. You can't use 3, you can't use 2, you have to use 5 for this or it's not going to work. Hold in your gear button again to get in your advanced menu. So, your first tone break and your tone pitch. So the first tone break was from 0 to 24. I'm assigning that a 1. So everything that's going to be coming up from 0 to 24 is going to sound like crap, basically, and you don't want to dig that. Now, full caveat, this is a coin shooting program. You are going to miss things like rings. Just be aware of that. But, especially in this range, some of the gold rings up low, so you may miss them. But you will hear everything else. So there's nothing in here you're not going to hear, except there's a couple notches I'm going to do here in a minute. So just stay tuned. So your first tone pitch for tone break 1 is going to be at 1. We'll go over. Now for tone break 2, your pitch is going to be 25. We want that to sound really, really good. And I'm going to demonstrate what these coins are going to sound like. So just stay with me. Tone break 3, your pitch is going to be 10. I'm lowering it because I'm not really interested in that range. But again, that's where your Indian head pennies are going to pop into once in a while. So they're going to ring lower than the normal coin sound. So you're going to check for it's going to ring lower than 25. It's not going to sound as good. Just pay attention to the numbers. That is probably the only time I'm going to tell you to pay attention to the numbers. And then your tone break 5, your pitch is going to be 25. That's going to be your coin range. Everything from 69 on up to 99 is going to be your coin range for all your good coins. So for the most part, there's a catch in there, give or take, but that's the best I can do as far as the tone breaks go to get you in the right range for the right coin sounds and so forth. And that's just how it's going to have to be. All right. The one other thing I need you to do is I need you to reject a couple things. Now, I don't like to reject stuff, but for this particular reason or this particular example, I have not found anything that rings in the 31, 32, 33 range other than foil and pull tabs. Beaver tails or half of a pull tab will ring a little differently and still fall in the nickel range. You might get fooled, but for the most part, pull tabs and foil is going to hit in 31, 32, 33. So you're going to have to come out of here, go into accept reject, hold your gear button to get back to the beginning, and you can see I have 31, 32, 33. I have those rejected. Those are the only 3 numbers out of this whole horseshoe that I have rejected. All right, so just except for 0 through 1, they're rejected as well. But you get that. But these are only 3 up here, 31, 32, 33 that are rejected. You don't have to reject them, but I do when I'm coin shooting. All right, now let's run through an example of what things are going to sound like. So you can be confident that I'm not lying to you when I tell you this kind of stuff is going to sound good to you. For instance, the 31, 32, 33 setup, let's go through some examples and show you exactly what everything's going to sound like so you can have the confidence in knowing that I'm not steering you in the wrong direction. All right, so here is a pull tab, just to let you know what it sounds like. It's broken. Doesn't sound good at all. You might get fooled a little bit, but for the most part, it's going to be broken up. So you should be okay. Here is a mercury dime. Pretty sweet. Here is an Indian head penny. This is going to be very important for you to pay attention to. Indian head penny. Rings low. I have it set to ring at a different pitch, but there's a reason, because everything else falls in there. Here's a flat button, so if you guys think you can't dig flat buttons, think again. You'll still get buttons, so don't freak out about that. Here is a war nickel. See how loud it rings? It sounds good. You're gonna dig those all day. Here is a wheat penny. And this also should ring up good. And it does. Here's a dime. Here's a regular nickel. Here is a $50. Sounds great. Here is a bottle cap. You shouldn't dig any bottle caps. Here is a piece of foil on this piece of cardboard. Again, it's broken. You shouldn't dig any foil. Well, you shouldn't. Here is a large cent taped to the cardboard as well. Let's see, I'm getting some of the foil in there, sorry. There it is. So it's getting some of the foil. Well, let me just take it off the cardboard, prove it to you for the fact. Make sure you guys don't think I'm crazy. Large cent. There you go. What else can I show you? I do have a barber quarter. We'll run that through just to make sure. Sounds amazing. We have a barber dime, just to show you nothing changes here. What else do I have in my pocket of tricks here? Well, let's try a silver ring. There's a big monster silver class ring. Here is my white gold wedding band. I believe it's white gold. It should be. So it rings lower, but that's something you're gonna have to like just accept. If you're looking for coins, rings aren't gonna ring really that great. Here's a tungsten ring. So you're still gonna hear these things. You're not getting rid of them, but they're gonna sound different. Here's a gold wedding band, 14K. So you're not losing any of this stuff. I'm just making sure you guys are aware of that. Here's a 3-ringer bullet. You still hear that? So that's how you set up a coin program for the Equinox 900. Man, I hope this should be exactly the way it was on the 800. That program, I'm telling you, on the 800 was awesome. A lot of you guys out there gave me high praise for that. It was basically, I morphed Andy Sabisch's program and made a few adjustments that I liked about it versus what he had. And his program worked great too, but I just made a few tweaks that I liked about it and, you know, posted it and people liked it. So I think everything, I didn't show a buffalo nickel. We can try that real quick. Those nickels are gonna come in great. So I think I covered, oh, here's a KG, or I think a KG coin. It's a very worn KG. All the coins are gonna ring up loud, my friends. They're gonna ring up good and loud, and you're not gonna miss them. Here is a 1811 capped bust, $50. I hope I said it right, Teddy. Yep. So there you go. I hope this works out for you. Let me know in the comments if there's something else I could do to tweak this. I hope everything was clear in my explanation of what it is I'm doing to this machine. If you liked what you saw here, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see at least 100 likes on this video. It'd be great. And yeah, just let me know what you think. All right. Well, that's it for me in this video. From Rocky and myself, we want to say see ya in another mental metal video. Right, Rocky? Right?